That's all I needed for him to do that, and it became personal with me.
Mike, come on, man. Be for real, you haven't got me yet.
Huh?
Mike,
Don't even try it.
So from this point on, it's a lesson. And from that point on, it was a lesson.
On Mutombo.
He never dunked on you. He never put you on the highlight.
No. He said, I would love to give you my poster, but it's not happening.
It's not going to happen. You know he's lying.
We always start this off by asking, who was the first person when you got to the league to bust your ass?
Y'all know that motherfucking MJ.
And we got out on him about 12-2, and I said, I'm gonna really rattle his chain. So I went over there, tapped him on the shoulder, and said, hey man, if you don't turn into Air Jordan, we're gonna blow you out today.
They said the wrong thing. They challenged the wrong man. And Michael Jordan, he took it personal. In this video, NBA legends like Gary Payton, Dikembe Mutombo, Reggie Miller, and even his own teammates tell wild, unfiltered stories of those moments when the GOAT locked in, snapped back, and straight up destroyed his competition.
We always start this off by asking, who was the first person when you got to the league to bust your ass?
Y'all know that motherfucking MJ. it some bullshit. I didn't know it was him. Straight bullshit. I want to hear the story. Bullshit? Yeah, I was talking shit to him in preseason. You know, I didn't know that they don't play in preseason.
Right.
So I'm killing him. Had about 21. He played about 7-8 minutes. Then all of a sudden, we got to play him in the first game of the regular season. He come to Seattle. First thing he get on the floor, he was like, Pip, Armstrong, the young fella, he mine all night. Let me bust his ass all night. And he's like, this ain't preseason. You know what I'm saying? Man, he remembered it, man. And then all of a sudden, man, I get quick 2 fouls, man, in 4 minutes, man. I sit down, man, I'm got 35, 7, 10. I'm over there with no
Chewing that gum,
chewing that gum, looking at me like after the game, he was like, welcome to the NBA.
I'm not the biggest of guys. I may be tall, but I wasn't the biggest or strongest guys. I needed to have a little bit of an edge. I started talking as soon as I got into the league, but I had a bad experience. My rookie year, we were playing the Chicago Bulls, and this is Michael Jordan's 3rd or 4th year in.
Okay.
And we were playing the next exhibition game in some obscure place. And Michael's going through the motion, and Chuck Person, who's on my team, who's a trash talker as well, is like, can you believe Michael Jordan, the guy everyone's talking about, who's supposed to be able to walk on water, you're out here killing him, Reg. This is in the first half. He's like, you should be talking to him. He's like, you know, you're right. Michael, who do you think you are? The great Michael Jordan? That's right. There's a new kid on town, right? Kind of looks at me and starts shaking his head. So at half, I have 10, and he has 4 points, right? I'm doing all this talking. He's like, okay. End of the game in the second half, he ended up with 44, and I ended up with 12. So he outscored me 40-2. And as he's walking off, he's like, be sure and be careful. You never talk to Black Jesus like that. I'm so sorry, Black Jesus. I'm so sorry.
Did you ever do it again?
Never to Michael Jordan.
When you got 10 egos out on that court like
Best
that.
in the world.
Yes, going at each other every single day. So one game, he decided to say, okay, the East versus the West. So all the East guys,
Barkley, Jordan, Larry Bird, Pippen,
and Ewing. Bam.
Wow.
And then we had the West guys, myself, David Robinson, Malone, Mullen, Drexler. And Stockton. So we all played against each other. So we were going at each other and talking stuff. So Charles Barkley took Malone one time and he scored. I said, come on, Carl, you got to get his ass back. You got to get his ass back. So get down on that block and get him back. So I threw it to him. He scored. They come back. They scored. We scored. So we were talking stuff. So finally, we got on a little run. So we scored about 8 in a row. They didn't score. Timeout. So Michael walking back. I don't usually talk trash, but I had to that time. And we got out on him about 12-2. And I said, I'm gonna really rattle his chain. So I went over there, tapped him on the shoulder, and said, hey, man, if you don't turn into Air Jordan, we're gonna blow you out today. If you don't turn into Air Jordan, we're gonna blow y'all out. Man, he started sweating.
It was hard.
That tongue went long. Jimmy, his eyes got big. You know when that tongue come out.
It's over. It's a problem.
He about to do something. Boy, that dude came out that timeout. He scored about 4 straight threes. Ooh. He broke the huddle. He hit a 3 and he's looking at me. So he came down again, hit another 3. And I went, oh, man. Then he came down. I gotta show you this one.
Don't hurt yourself.
I won't hurt myself.
Okay.
So he stole the basketball. He coming down the right side. He takes off. David Robinson took off. And he said, okay, I'm gonna just sit here in the air. David Robinson coming this way. So Mike just cuffed him. And he just looked at him.
In the air.
And he kept looking. He kept looking. He kept looking. He went all the way down, Jack. He did a 360. Ooh. Bam!
And dunked.
I said, that's it. That's it. It's over now.
That's him.
It's over now.
That's him.
So he just looked at me, too, to let me know.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
It's your fault.
I'm here, yeah. That's your fault.
You know who got me to do this? You.
Yeah.
So we got upstairs, and Larry Bird and I sitting down. So he come in with his cigar. Got his drink.
So how old is he right now? He's 26, 27?
Yeah, young.
Young
you know.
boy, yeah.
So I just want y'all to know. There's a new sheriff in town.
Yeah. I love it.
And we all bow down.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. I love it.
Well, I don't know if it never happened, but I do know he does take everything personal and everything that he does, cards or whatever. I was in a room with him for, I don't know, 5 hours one time, day of a game. He wouldn't let us leave. Me, Tom Chambers, Ty Corbin. It was an exhibition game, and he would not let us leave. And we were stiff. I called Cotton, said, Cotton, I can't go. He said, that's okay, I was going to hold you out. Tom called him up. Cotton, I'm sore, I can't go. That's okay, I wasn't going to play you. And Ty Corbin wouldn't dare do it, right? I'm not doing it. So Jordan stands up in the room, and he says, you tell that boy Dan Marley, I got something for him tonight. And now I stood up, I couldn't hardly walk. I mean, literally, we had played the night before, traveled that day. I was stiff as a board. He would not, it was Scottie Pippen in the room, Horace Grant. I mean, we just playing this game called Tonk, okay? And we just going at it. And he looked at Tom and I, he said, I'm going to give your boy 40.
In an exhibition game?
Yeah. We like, who? Dan. I'm like, yeah, okay. Whatever. Bet 100. Bet 200. I took the bet. Tom took the bet.
Oh, no.
So he starts the game, and he just going nuts. I'm over there still stiff. I got heat packs under my clothes, man. I'm like, stiff. This man's out there going crazy. And Tom and I sitting there looking at him like, this dude is just insane. So he had about 34. And he walks over to the bench, and he catches the ball. He catches it. He looks at Tom and I like, get that money ready. He catches the ball, and Dan's guarding him. He reverse pivots on him, so Dan's got to backed up, and he went right, and he just tried to tear the rim down. Tongue wag, he went down like this, right, and holding up 400. Nobody knew what the 4 was, right? And so we're looking. So timeout, Cotton called a timeout. And Michael came over after the timeout. He said, Cotton, your boys, they were playing cards with me all day. Told on us. So that's why.
Snitched?
Oh yeah. So that's
Jordan
why. Yeah. So that's why y'all not playing. That's why they not playing. And they bet me too. I told him I was gonna give your boy Dan Marley 40, and he had 30. He had 30, 36, 38, and we sitting over there. And Cotton turns to Dan, who's a rookie, right? Because Dan supposedly locked Jordan up, in the Olympics, right? And Cotton looks at Dan and said, Dan, what did you do to Michael? Just messing with him. And Dan was like, I didn't do anything to him. We fell out laughing. And he went, man, he dunked for the 40 on everybody. And look what ran past Mitch. I want my money.
Jordan, tell the people about blocking the greatest basketball player of all time.
Well, okay, before I tell you that story, because there's some back history to that, right? I ever tell you about the locker room story?
No, tell us. You guys want your locker room story? Yeah, let's hear it.
So I'm with the Grizzlies, and we're about to play Chicago in Vancouver.
Okay.
So the day before practice.
By the way, just to clarify for all the youngsters out there, no, the Couve, 15 miles north, did not have a basketball team.
No.
Vancouver, Canada has the Grizzlies.
They moved to Memphis.
And now they're in Memphis, yes.
So we're about to play Chicago, and after we're practicing, and next to us in a court that we can't see, it's like closed off. Chicago is practicing.
Okay.
And
this is like Michael Jordan's like prime year. This is when they won 72,
this is
72 games.
This is like high
82.
shit.
The greatest of all time.
So I go in the locker room after the game. After practice. I come out. I'm lifting weights. I'm on the bench press, getting my weightlifting on.
Right.
Getting stronger, feeling good.
Right.
I sit up from the bench press, and Michael Jordan is sitting on the bench next to me.
That's wild.
No. You have no idea. My entire dorm room in college was Michael Jordan. Every wall was wall to wall Michael Jordan.
I have an idea. It's just the difference that my dorm had that, but the greatest dunk I ever missed was on a Nerf hoop that was above my door of the dorm. So I've got an idea. Yeah, I mean, Mike is the king, the guy.
I don't think I moved for 30 minutes. I know he had to think I was crazy. I sat up on the bench like this for 30 minutes.
Do that to the camera. I've never seen you do puppy dog eyes. Look at that's Michael Jordan, the camera.
And so the next night we're playing them,
right?
And we're up by I think 8 points, and he goes in for a layup. I block his shot. I think I apologized like almost immediately. Like I blocked his shot, and I was like, "Hey, my bad."
That's your job to play defense. You blocked Michael Jordan, and then with your puppy dog eyes, you just said,
"My bad. Sorry, I didn't know it was you." I'm tripping.
How many other players did that? And you think
I'm telling you, I'm not the only one.
Right.
I've seen guys ask Michael Jordan for his shoes during the game. Hey,
these are grown men.
Yo, these are competitors.
Right.
Grown ass men.
Right.
Hey, Mike, at the free throw line. Yeah. Hey, Mike, so look, man, after the game, I was wondering if I could get them. Seriously? Seriously? Did you seriously just ask him for his shoes? Really? So yeah, we're winning the game. Right. We're up by 8 points. And one of my teammates, Derek Martin, had been in LA with Mike when he was filming Space Jams. It was the summer after he filmed Space Jams.
Okay.
We're up 8. Mike is 4 for 16 from the field. He's having a really rough night.
Right.
So Derek decides, because there's about 10 minutes to go in the game and we're winning, he decides to say to Michael Jordan, who's having an off night, "Hey, Mike, shit's not falling tonight, Mike. You're having an off night, Mike." Really? 24 points in the last 10 minutes. His last jump shot. This is no lie. He catches the ball in the post. He does the typical Jordan fadeaway. He's fading towards our bench. He knocks down the shot. They go up by 6. He turns to the bench and says, "Shut up, you little bitch." True story.
Wow.
True story. And it's on YouTube. You can. I think it's 95 Grizzlies versus Bulls.
You can see it?
And you can see it. It's the last shot he hits, and you see him turn to the bench. And you can't hear what he says, but I promise you, his words were, "Shut up, you little bitch." We go in the locker room after the game. Mike has killed us.
Right.
Byron Scott, who's now the head coach of the Lakers, was assigned to guard Michael Jordan and had been doing a great job. And then Mike lit him up for 24 points in the last 10 minutes of the game. He comes in the locker room. He's on fire. He walks up to Derek Martin and says, "Listen, don't you ever talk to the guy I'm guarding. You talk to your guy.
Yeah.
Don't you talk." Oh, we had to break. It was almost a fight in the locker room. And Byron Scott's a 4th-degree black belt.
You got to get Nate to get in there with the gloves, man. Just let them do their thing.
Shit, I got out the way.
He came in young. So him and Eddie Jones were on the Lakers together.
Yeah.
That's all I remember is playing against those two. So both of those guys didn't want him to see me his first 2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah, you kill him.
He grew up, took over the league.
Yeah.
Give him all his, right? You know, I give him props. Mike is a whole different thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a whole.
So you saw Kobe as like a puppy.
I mean, I knew
he was
I
young.
put it like this, man. I see him as a puppy.
Yeah.
So 18 to 22, he was learning his way.
Right.
He was raw.
He was nice,
and I was
but
still
yeah.
like, you know, that's the nicest 18-year-old I ever played against.
Yeah.
But I was 24, 25. I was a full-grown man. So I was like,
whatever.
I'm gonna serve this kid right now. I don't care who he is.
Yes,
so he went through that.
Yeah.
But what I like about Kobe is that when I got to the Lakers, he was like, let's play one-on-one. I was like, I'm just getting in shape, you know. Let me get my body right. I'll get with you in about 30 days. It was training camp.
Yeah.
And he was serious. He's like, let's go one-on-one. And his whole thing, what he told me later, was like, I remember when you used to go at me.
Yeah.
You know, and that's his way of coming back at me. I grew up. I've been honing my skills. I'm ready. So I respect him, and I think he's the Don Dada for that.
Of course.
But Mike is a whole different thing. So I had to guard them both, and it's not even like, Mike, let me go to sleep tonight. Let me chill. Let me rest the next day. Let me stay focused. Let me eat the right things.
Yeah.
Kobe, not saying that you had to switch it up, but I didn't have that fear.
Yeah.
You know, Mike would have, you know, you better bring your game. I could
You
go
and
for
Mike in
50
his
tonight.
prime.
Oh, yeah, Mike in his prime. We went at it toe to toe, head to head.
I know,
loved me.
of course.
Mike was like, man, you never back down. You strong.
Yeah.
Hops, I love you.
Yeah.
God, he put me in his all-star games. Him and Mike loved me, you know, as far as
That's
where I
amazing.
used to come. But Mike is the best player in the world ever. LeBron, Kobe, nobody can fade that.
Yeah.
Nobody can fade that.
Yeah, tell us about when you and Garnett served Michael Jordan, though.
Oh, okay. Barnix, okay. I see him give him your man
Yeah,
prepped
something
him.
happened
Your man
here,
prepped him.
man.
Okay.
Something going on.
So you and KG served Mike?
I would get my 20s, 24s, 25s,
Yeah.
29 on Mike. Mike
Yeah.
don't get his 30, 32, 35. You make him have 40. He never got 40 on me, but he did get 35, 36. I mean, he got some money. You know, I try to keep him down to 25, 26, his average. Anything over that,
Okay.
you know, right? So what happened was, we're in Chicago, and I had played against Mike 3 times head up. So KG had never seen me play against Mike.
Yeah.
So we're in the game, and I got about 24 going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Mike got about 18, 19.
Okay.
So I'm quiet. I always stay quiet when I play Mike. I didn't talk too much. I mean, if he talked to me, I was going to talk back, but he never talked crazy to me. We just played. But I never talked crazy to him at all, right?
Yeah, you knew better.
So we come out of the fourth quarter, KG like, man, keep going at his ass. Serve him. He can't guard you. He can't da-da-da with you. He can't mess with you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, I was quiet. I'm looking at him like, just chill. Because Mike was literally right there.
And
Him
KG
Scotty.
was hype. Like
and
KG
he's super hype.
Yes.
You know,
loud.
I'm super hype. So we vibe, right? But I'm like, chill. He's like, man, he looked at me like, man, he can't guard you. Keep going at him. I'm like, man, chill. He's like, what? I was like, he's standing right here, buddy. And KG was like, I don't care. Keep going at him.
Wow,
Too strong for this dude, man. Too strong for him. I was like, wow. So Mike looked at KG, looked at me, looked at KG. I was like, Mike, he don't know the rules of the game, man. He's just a young puppy. You know what I mean? Mike was like, okay, he talking? You know what I mean? I said, man, he don't know the rules of the game.
Yeah.
And Mike looked at him again like, okay. Looked at me like, okay. I said, what you looking at me like that for, right? Went to the fourth quarter, man. That man got about 17 quick. Mad, looking at KG, looking at me, looking at KG.
Motivate him.
I said, look, I got to guard that man. Not you. You know what I mean? Mind you, KG was having a great game on Scotty. We both, I mean, KG had about 30. I had about 28.
Yeah.
I mean, we was getting it.
It's amazing.
But KG didn't understand that we don't talk to Mike like that.
I tell you what, it took Michael 7 years to get one dunk.
Oh, there we go. Let it know.
Boom.
I'm in the Hall of Fame just from blocking shots. So give me some credit. You know, I'm not going to sit here quiet because somebody was lucky enough to get one dunk. But how many of those blocks I got on Michael?
Yeah, that's true. We can be showing that for days.
Mike, come on, man. Be for real, you haven't got me yet.
Huh?
Mike,
Don't even try it.
you want me to go call Scotty?
You have to call Scotty.
Boy.
What you gonna call Scotty for? I haven't got you recently. Yeah, I agree with
No,
that.
you haven't got me in the 6 years. Why don't you guys just go ahead and say it?
Lift it out, Michael, get it pulled for the fresh shot clock. MJ. Oh, he did it! Michael shakes the finger, but he finally got his dunk on Mount Mutombo.
He never dunked on you. He never
Face
put you on the
now,
highlight.
No. He said, I would love to have you in my poster, but it's not happening.
It's not gonna happen. You know he lying.
That's the first time Boston Garden gets shut down. Orlando shut it down in the playoffs. I think we swept them that year. Game, second round, we play Michael Jordan there.
Yeah.
That's when Nick Anderson
stole the ball.
Yeah. To this day, until I saw what was the Last Dance, I did not know Nick Anderson said
he wasn't the same.
45 is not 23. Oh Lord, I would have said, man, y'all, you don't shut the fuck up. What is you doing? You don't get this man no feel. What did you do? So when I saw that, I was like, oh my God. I say, so game
all that
2.
Time you never knew
No,
that?
never knew it. Never knew it. Because I was newcomer still.
Yeah.
So game 2, never forget. I say, I was always a Michael Jordan fan. Game 2, he comes out, keeps his top on, got his pants off, shorts on, and then they do the announcement.
Took that shit out, had that 23 on.
They did the announcement. He said, wearing number 45, Michael Jordan. Yeah, crowd go crazy. You know, we at home, but it sounded like we in Chicago because of him. So he kept his top on. Boy, both teams broke out of the huddles. Coming to the court, that motherfucker took out that damn thing. I saw 2-3. I said, oh, Lord, we in trouble. Superman's in the building, back cat, whatever you want to call him, Jesus. We in trouble tonight. So they ended up winning game. They won game 2.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. I saw that 2-3. I was like, ooh. I don't know. I just know I was excited. I don't know what they were saying.
I'm ready to watch this shit.
Because I was sitting there like, I ain't got to guard him. Like, y'all got to guard him. Good luck.
I'm about to see some shit.
Remember Bernie Mac saying, you're doing a good job. Keep up the good luck. Good luck. So they end up beating us.
Yeah.
So the rest of the time, this was the crazy part. Every time he wore that number, they got fined $200,000.
Yeah.
Because, you got to have that.
Yeah,
You got to have
supposed to do all
the
that
number.
shit ahead of time.
Like January, you got to, this is what you got. So they got fined $200,000, which he's making that every time he play. Anyway, ching-ching, that jump man was making that money anyway. He got that. So we beat him in, I think, game 3, or they beat us, I'm not for sure, but we ended up winning 4-2 on that court. That was the first time Horace Grant left Chicago.
Yeah, y'all carried him off the court. I remember all that shit. I remember all that bullshit.
Crazy.
Yeah, I remember that. I didn't like that shit.
Boy, they say Jordan's trainer, like, when you want to start? He said, tomorrow, lifting weights. And he said, all he kept thinking was Orlando. Man, they played us there was Shaq last time in Orlando. They played us, they swept us. But I never forget this, and you can go back and look at the stat sheet. And they were they was fucking with Horace Grant. Horace couldn't do nothing, put his head down and just laugh. It was on the free throw line right in front of us. Jordan, Scotty was talking shit. Boy, Jordan had 2 free throws at the end of the game. He hit the first one and missed the second one on purpose. And we was like, what the fuck you doing, Somebody said, look at the scoreboard. He left 45 on the scoreboard. Jordan petty in the motherfucker. He left 45 for last year on the scoreboard. Go back and look at game 4. Stat sheet. You can Google that. 45.
What made
my camp against O.J. Mayo. He was a top high school kid coming out. And I never met him first time. In front of my camp, he starts this thing about, you can't guard me, you can't do this. I got my campus here, so I can't really go where I want to go because of my camp. So I stop the camp, send the kids to bed. We go back to playing. And he starts his whole thing, that you can't guard me, you can't do this. So from this point on, it's a lesson. And from that point on, it was a lesson. He never won a game. I posted him up. I did everything. If I can ever show you that film, and if you can ever ask him that, ask him about the thing that happened at my camp.
I got a few buckets, and I think the campers knew I was the only high school kid, and so they got rowdy a little bit, and we got a little bit of John. And so, we played 2 games. I think we split 1-on-1. It was a team game. And then he said, okay, now let me handle my business. He was jawing a little bit and really getting into me defensively. And, he's backing me down, said, better scream for mama. His mama, hit hit the famous fadeaway on me, and Mike was Mike.
Finally, I said, look, dude, you may be the best high school player.
But I'm the greatest ever. And don't you ever disrespect, the great like that.